Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to a little intermediate video, seeing as it's after Christmas now. By the time you see this it'll be after Christmas. We're all stuffed with our turkey and we're all sitting down, probably going to go to sleep. Hopefully my video won't send you to sleep, it might wake you up a little bit. So I'll probably post this on Boxing Day, I think, so give you something to watch on Boxing Day if there's nothing on TV. Yeah, let's get into it and we'll show you a few bits and pieces. So if you're currently thinking about getting a Fiat 500 from Copart, or any other car for that matter, but obviously we're dealing here with Fiat 500s. It's December, it's just before Christmas. Is December a good time to be buying cars? People say that cars never sell in December, so people don't buy them in December. From, you know, the salvage cars I mean. And I've noticed that when I bought Project Bluey a couple of weeks ago, that the cars were going for less than normal. Now Newbury is where I got that from. I bought the £300 also from Newbury as well. So whether it's a Newbury thing or not, I don't know. But cars are at the moment do seem to be going for less, and there's lots of them. So I thought we'd have a little look at some of the stuff that's available at the moment. There's a couple of interesting ones. This first one might tickle your fancy. I'm not sure. If I had no other projects, I would have a go at this, but see what you think. So, what do we got here? We've got, now, at first glance, that looks like quite a lot of damage, doesn't it? For me, windscreen, £140. Airbag kit, I've got. Let's forget the front of it for the moment. So we have a little look through. So, I say forget about the front. I mean, let's see what we need on there. New bonnet, I've got one of those. New bumper, I haven't got a red one. I'm sure there are ones available. Looking at it closer, you can see it's not just the wing, you can see the inner wing has gone as well there. So that inner wing is going to need replacing. That has to be spot welds all around here, down here, and around here. All have to be drilled out. I've done it once before and it was a pain in the backside. And then the problem is when we'll look at it on another car, but when you come to join the new inner wing with basically the seam of the what do you call it, the edge of the engine bay, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you need to call it. The thin metal joins thin metal, and it needs to be crimped and spot welded. Now, if you're a professional and you know what you're doing, then I'm sure you could do a decent job of it. So I think that part, I did attempt that once before, and it looked a bit of a dog's dinner. So I think taking it to a body shop would have to be, you could do as much of it you can, you could weld the new one on and so on if you could do any welding, but obviously that would need sorting out. Obviously we've got the usual front panel, headlight, etc, etc. Now going by the impact here, so the front strut, not front strut, the front chassis leg is about here. The impact seems to be down here, so it may have done the bottom one, which is just a 2-bolt, unbolt it. The top one may be okay. There's no picture here of under the bonnet, so it's difficult to see the extent of the damage. That side's fine. So it's a 14 plate. The rear of it is fine. Might be a little scuff just there, but that's nothing. That side's fine. I think the door's not quite closed there. Inside's it's an updated one, so it's got the updated seats. It is a colour therapy, of course, so you've got the colour therapy gear knob. That seatbelt looks like it may have gone. It's difficult to tell, but I mean, it is quite a lot of damage. I haven't even looked, but this is going to be a Cat S. Doesn't run and drive. That's going to be the fuel cut-off has gone. That's why. Of course, there's no power there either, so maybe the battery's got damaged or disconnected in some way. Obviously, the battery's just here, so. As I say, there's quite a bit of damage to that. Obviously needs a new wing. So you can sort of just see under here. So the bit I was talking about with the thin seam, as soon as I let go, is this bit here. which doesn't actually seem to be that damaged as far as I can see there. Actually, I say the inner wing's gone. Looking at it there, it doesn't look like it has gone. Maybe the corner piece, where you, the bolt-on corner piece, but that's a bolt-on, so that can be replaced. It may be a little bit skewed. It's just, you can't see the chassis leg, so it's a bit of a gamble as to whether the chassis leg has gone, but that actually looks like that inner wing hasn't gone. So if that's the case, that's quite good. Now, going back to the listing itself, you'll see it's 14 plate. I got it on a buy now, so it's currently at £350. It's up for auction tomorrow, and I'm going to film it tomorrow and see how much it goes for. But it's on a buy now for £675. You've got to add fees to that, but on the bottom here, it's make an offer. So what's the betting? If I offered £500, what's the betting that they would accept that? They might not now because the auction's tomorrow, but if I had nothing else to work on, I would do it. It's got to be worth the punt for that sort of money. If you could get that for 500 quid, even for parts, it would be worth more than that. As Alex pointed out to me the other day, the wheel trims alone are worth £120, assuming they're all okay. So, you know, that could be a good parts car if it wasn't any good to fix. I've got all the airbags, I've got the dash, seat belts, I've got all those if it needs them. I've got a bonnet, I've got a front panel. The only thing I've not got there is a wing and a bumper. Everything else I've got. So for me, that would be quite a good little car. Apart from the possibility of the chassis rail being bent. But I'm going by where it's hit, as I said, and I don't reckon. It's funny, that picture there, that inner wing looks as if that's damaged. It looks like it's pointing downwards. It must be a trick of the light or something, because when you look at that other picture, it isn't anywhere near. Where is it? Let's have a look at that one as well. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does look like that's pointing down. I don't know, the end of it. Yeah, no, it must be. It must be damaged. It certainly looks it there. But when you look at that side one, I suppose you can't see that bit down there. But maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Difficult to tell. But, you know, it's at 350 at the minute. Buy now for 675. Would they accept 500 quid? Don't know. But I've just bought, that's funnily enough, that's at Newbury as well. And what I was just saying about Newbury. Now, my car I bought, Project Bluey, I wasn't expecting to win that, so I didn't even film the bidding. But I won that for 825. Now, there's a little video coming up in a minute of one that I filmed a few weeks ago. Can't remember exactly when it was I filmed them. Let me see if I can find it on a computer, see the date that it was filmed. 30th of November, so it's about 3 weeks ago. I filmed that. This auction coming up, and it's a very similar car, except it's a colour therapy again, same as this one. But have a look at this and see how much this one went for.
Your watch item is next on the block.
People bidding. Crazy. 875, 850 at the moment. Let's have new bidder. That's
New
me.
bidder.
925. I'm having one more bid. That's it. 950. It's the most I'm paying. No. One more. Last one. That's definitely the last one. No. That's it. You can have it, mate.
Bonus time.
Shame, but never mind. £1,050 tomorrow as well. We got this 2011 again. You know, it's 2011, and I did say I'm going to steer clear of 2011 cars. Well, certainly 2010 anyway. So it's needs a new front bumper. DRL's obviously broken. Don't look like there's much else wrong with it. There's a few little scrapes and scratches around it, maybe slight dent there by the looks of it. It's got the sat nav mount there. Yeah, looks alright inside, looks clean under the bonnet, so it doesn't look like it needs a new front panel. It's 57,000 miles, which isn't too bad. So pretty much, it's only a little bit of bodywork to be done, plus a new bumper on that. That's currently at £375. Now, Project Bluey was around that sort of price. And I don't think very many people are buying cars at the moment. I'll tell you two reasons. One, we've already spoke about, which was the fact that it's almost Christmas. And two, I think during COVID, where people have had more time on their hands, they've been furloughed, they've been watching videos like mine, which has inspired people to do cars themselves. They've got those cars, they're working on them in their spare time, and they haven't got anywhere else to put another car. So although it went a bit mad during the summer, who wants to work on cars in the winter? And they're already working on cars. So I don't think those casual people are bidding as much anymore. So it'd be interesting tomorrow to see how much that one goes for as well. We also have at Peterlee, which I have bought from before, but it's too far away. It's quite a nice S-plate 2016 Abarth as well. Windscreen's gone, airbags are gone. Needs a new wing, needs a new front bumper. It needs a new bonnet. It's probably going to need a new radiator. I think we've got wonky suspension as well. Fine at the back. Fine that side at the back. It's in that nice podium blue as well. So it's the standard 595, so it's not got the leather seats or anything, but so it needs a new steering, airbag. It's got a remote key, which is always a bonus. Seatbelts are probably gone, although you can't see in these pictures. But apart from, yeah, it's going to need a new front panel, possibly radiators. It looks like it's a run and drive. Yeah, it has got the wonky wheel, so that's probably going to be just a bottom arm, I would imagine. Wing needs doing there. So yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. At the moment, that's only at 1,950. It is a minimum bid. Actually, was that a minimum bid, that one? Oh, sorry, the white one. No, that's a pure sale, the white one, the white lounge. But be interesting to see what that goes for. Estimated retail 8,281. So I would expect that as a 66 plate. I would expect that to go for somewhere around the £5,000 mark. I can't remember what I paid for my 2016, although mine didn't have airbags or any of that sort of damage. But I can't remember what I paid for it now. But it was approaching £5,000, I think. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that gets to. We've also got a 2015 Newbury. It's only got 27,000 miles on the clock. Again, frontal damage as usual, so it's going to probably need front panel. Radiator looks all bent up. Top bar's damaged. Can't tell. It's difficult to see when they're black. Obviously needs a bonnet. It's got the facelift wheels on it. Obviously it's a facelift, so it's going to have the screen stereo. It's got a remote key. It's got the newer seats, obviously, and it's a twin air as well. Not to everybody's taste, the twin air. Picture's a bit out of focus, but yeah, definitely needs a front panel. It's going to need rad. Probably going to need the intercooler, top bar. It's got the nice digital dash. 27,000 miles. So that would be a lovely one. At the moment, it's £575 and it's a pure sale. So I would expect that to probably go for around the £3,000 mark, maybe three and a half. So it'll be interesting to see what that goes for as well. So that one's tomorrow. We've also got in Westbury another 2012 Lounge, which looks really in nice condition. It's only a cat N. Needs a new wing, obviously bumper, bottom bar. Doesn't look like there's any other work. I don't reckon that one needs a front panel. Yeah, apart from those bits, there's nothing wrong with it as far as I can see. It looks really good. So 1.2, reasonably clean under the bonnet. Only 27,000 miles. The bonnet's closed properly, so yeah, I think that's front panel's probably fine. So it hardly needs any work doing on it. Okay, it's at £775 at the moment, but we will have a look tomorrow and see what that goes for. It's a run and drive. So that could, if that goes to around the £1,000 mark, that would be a good little buy. that's all that's coming up tomorrow, but there are quite a lot. During the height of COVID, we had it went down to something like 20 or 24, 25, 28 cars countrywide. I'm just going to do a search for a spider, and there aren't any. But at the moment, countrywide, there are 49. It did go up to 70. Actually went up into the 80s a couple of weeks ago. And it's been hovering around the high 50s. I guess being Christmas week and sort of almost like a countrywide lockdown again, there's going to be a little bit less stock around to buy. But I reckon that now is a good time to buy. So obviously you're not all going to be close to these particular ones. We've got Wolverhampton, Newbury, or just Wolverhampton and Newbury tomorrow. Oh, and Westbury as well. But we can have a look at those tomorrow and see if we can see those, how much they go for, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about those. But if I would say if you're thinking of getting into doing a Fiat 500, now is a very good time to buy one. So we'll watch those auctions tomorrow. It'd be quite interesting to see what they go for. I'll try and film as much of it as I can. If they happen at the same time, then I might only get one or two of them. But it all depends on the lot numbers and when they're up during the day. All the auctions start midday, as you know. So before we do that, before we go into that, because obviously that hasn't been recorded yet, so we can't travel in time. I often get asked on the channel how we track down service history. I use various ways of doing it. So the first thing you look at is the number plates on the car, or the sticker in the back window, which usually one or the other or both will show who the original supplier of the car was when it was new. Sometimes if it goes through a second-hand dealer, they will put their own plates on it, so that will show you who had it after. So that is also a help. So you can ring up those dealers, give them the registration number and ask them, and they will usually give you the service history. As well as doing that, you can look at the MOT history. That's a very good way. So if you look at the MOT history, that will show you who has done the MOTs. You can then Google those places and give them a call. But I've done a little video on the Loopy Harold one. So I had the logbook with Loopy Harold, and I put the document reference number in, and it shows you the information. So I'll just show you that little video now, and then after that we'll go into tomorrow's auctions and see what those cars went for. So here we go with the MOT history. I just wanted to show you a bit more on tracking down the service history. So I've got the logbook with this car, as you know. So what you can do is, for the last couple of MOTs, since they changed it, you can view the test certificate. Once you click on that button, you have to put in the latest V5 document. Now with this car, because I've got the V5, I was able to put the number in, which then tells me where the last MOT was done and the one before that. But then when we get to the older ones, you may not be able to download the certificate, but what it does show you is where the MOTs were done. So this is on Loopy Harold, so you can see in 2017 J&M Motors, 2016 J&M Motors, but it was also MOT'd in April of the same year at 41,000 miles by J&M Motors. This is in Boreham Wood. 2015 J&M Motors. 2014 Palmer's. Now Palmer's were the dealers who sold it new, so that would have been its first MOT. It was registered in July 2011, so that would be its 3 years old first MOT. So going by that, I reckon that Palmer's had the car for service each year. So I reckon when I phone up Palmer's, there's their address. All I've got to do is Google their address, get their phone number, ring up the service department, give them the VRM and tell them that I've bought the car without service history. Can you put the VRM into your computer and tell me what you've got? I've only ever had one dealer who wanted to charge me £25 to tell me. All the others have quite happily told me. So I will probably think I'm going to get 4 years of services information out of there. So what I need to know is what type of mileage, what type of service, the mileage when the service was done, which is probably going to tie up with the MOTs, apart from the three before this, the two before this rather. They'll tell me the mileage, type of service, and then we come on to the later MOTs. So the chances are this is when it changed hands, I would imagine, at some point, and so between 2015 it's the same person that's done the MOTs all up until the last one was in 2017. So what's the bet in that they've had that serviced each time as well, or at least half of those times? So you've got 5 MOTs there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MOTs. Okay, 2 on the same year for some reason, all done by J&M Motors in Bournemouth. So when I give them a ring, tell them the same thing, hopefully they'll be able to tell me the same. And then we come on to Motorworks and RK Motors. We can ring both of those up and see if they've done any servicing on it. One of those, I probably, when I look at the mileage again, I can't remember when the cam belt was done, but when we look at the mileage, we'll probably be able to tell which one of these it is that did the cam belt. And I think it was in 2015, was it? 2017, I can't remember. So chances are it's going to be J&M Motors that did that cam belt. So they'll be able to tell me for certain who did it. So that is probably the best way of tracking down the service history. Obviously you need a blank service book, and then you need to fill it in yourself, which is not as good as having a proper one, but it does the job. So quite a few people have asked me how I track down services, so this, as well as obviously looking at the registration number as I explained earlier, is a good indication of how you can find out when it was serviced and what sort of services. But the first one's coming up soon, which is the red colour therapy, still at 375. It's coming up immediately after this Prius, which is about to end, I think. Nope, still going.
Your watch item is next on the block.
£400. Oh, no, 375 now, 400.
Sold on approval.
400. Be interesting to see if that comes back again or not.
Your watch item is next on the block.
Here we go. The white one. Currently at 800. This one. This is the one with just the bumper. So it's only a Cat N, I think. Can't see the category. $850. Still a good
bonus
price.
Time.
This is a pure sale as well, this one, so that's good. If someone gets it for $850, that's a really good buy. $875. So this is oh no, this is more than I paid for Bluey now. Obviously Bluey's got suspension damage, but 900. There's not that many. There's only 2 people by the looks of it that are actually bidding. It's difficult to tell sometimes, but it's not frantic bidding by any stretch. So 925, 950. You can get that for under £1,000. It's 975 now. Next bid will be 1,000. Even over that is still good price. Come on, £1,000 now. So that's going to cost you about 1,300 out the door, or thereabouts. Once you add all the fees on, so 1,050.
Bonus time.
My favourite, bonus time. Come on, it's slow bidding anyway, so I think it's probably only a couple of people that are bidding. Come on, 1,050.
Bonus time.
No, don't bid, come on. Still a good price, 1,050 quid. It's an oldish one, it's 2011, but oh God, I wish why do these people do this? Leave it to the last second. So frustrating. I hope it's not one of you viewers that's
bonus
bidding.
Time.
Think of a. I must admit, I do it myself to an extent. You think of a price that you're maximum going to pay, and then it gets that, and you have. Oh, let's have one more bid. I've done it numerous times myself and paid more than I should have done.
Bonus time.
1,150. Is that going to be it? Hopefully. So it's going to be about somewhere between 1,300 or 1,400 out the door.
Bonus time.
Actually, probably 14, yeah, good 14, between 14, yeah, it'll be about 1400, I reckon, out the door. Come on.
Sold.
Yay, 1,150. So that's still not a bad price, that. Not bad at all. Nearly missed this one. So this is the white one without the front bumper on it. It's a bit of frantic bidding going on this one. It's only 27,000 miles. It's a pure sale and it's a 2012. So we're 1,250.
New bidder.
Little bit of frantic
New
bidding.
bidder.
So this one's going for too much money. I know it's low mileage, and I suppose there isn't that much to do to it, is there? What was it? New wing, bumpers. That's about it.
This is a hot lot.
It is 1,550. Now whoever's bidding on this is paying too much now. Although I suppose you got to pay.
Bonus time.
Maybe depends on what sort of quality bumper you got. You got, you know, probably approaching £200 for a good bumper with the lights and so on. So 1,600 now. So that's going to cost you virtually £2,000.
Sold.
1,600. So that would be out the door a couple of grand. So yeah, that's too much. Far too much money. Although, you know, if they're doing it for themselves, then they've got a decent car for a good price, because it wasn't that much, as far as we can see, to do on it. But we'll come back soon on the next one.
Your watch item is next on the block.
So here comes the Arbalf. It's gone up overnight to starting price of 2,650. So this is a Cat S. So I won't explain to you because you've just seen what's wrong with it, but it's a nice car.
Bonus time.
Surely that's, oh, it's on reserve anyway. Surely that's going to go for more than that. Yeah, here we go. So I reckon that will probably go. I don't know. It's difficult to tell with these. I mean, it's quite a bit of damage, I suppose, but 2,850. 2,850. There's no way on earth they're going to get that for 2,850. No way. Good luck with that. That'll be coming back in a few days. Damn it, I just missed it. I missed the black one. It actually sold. I just saw it as it sold, and it sold for £1,850. So unfortunately, yeah, I actually missed the auction, so I didn't see how it went. I literally opened up Copart and it was on it, lot number 142. So yeah, £1,850 it went for, which again is too much. But then I guess I say it was too much, but then it is a facelift, so maybe not. But yeah, that wasn't too bad when you think that the other one went for not much less than that. What was it, the 2012 one? So it wasn't too bad really. Still more than I'd want to pay, but not too bad for a facelift. So that was giving you a little insight into what's been available on Copart today, really. I've just done a search for Fiat 500 on Copart just now, and there were 56. Can't remember what it was yesterday, but there were 56 cars today. That's countrywide. So, as I say, we are sort of back up to proper levels of cars now, and as you saw in those little excerpts of the bidding, if you're bidding on the right one, you'll get it for a decent price. Be interesting to see if that Arbalf, there's no way that person's going to get that for that amount of money. That's got to be half the price of what more or less half the price of what it should have gone for. But I guess, you know, as I said, people aren't buying cars in December, even whether they're straight cars or salvage cars. So yeah, I expect to see that back very shortly. I've just done a search for Arbalf to see if it's come back already, and it hasn't. So I imagine they've sent an offer, some ridiculous offer to the buyer, and waiting for him to not accept it, and then of course it will be going back up for sale again. So that's it for this video. I hope this video has entertained you somewhat. I'll do these Copart ones every now and again, and I always do try and do these videos for when I'm bidding on a car. It just so happens that Project Bluey, I wasn't expecting to win it, so therefore I didn't even bother recording it. It was just bought it on a whim, to be honest, which is why I never even realised it didn't have any keys at the time. I don't recommend you do that. Not buying a car, especially when the steering lock's on, which it usually is if there's no keys, is a pain, absolute pain. But then I got it for 825 quid. Okay, I had to pay 160 quid, wasn't it, for a new key, but hey ho, at least it's a remote key and it's a brand new one, so these things happen. So yeah, so as I say, maybe now is the time So between now and the new year, Copart, I don't know what Copart's situation is. They're obviously not open on bank holidays. I don't know whether they'll be doing any auctions next week, like between Christmas and New Year, whether there'll be any. I expect there probably will. If you're not at work, if you're at home, why not log on, have a look. If you're a member, maybe it is time, whether you do Fiat 500s or any other cars, maybe it is time, a good time to buy. So let me know how you get on the comments if you do that. But as I said earlier on, this video will be going live on Boxing Day, and up between then and New Year there probably won't be any. There may be a couple of little how-to videos. I might do a couple of little short how-to videos. Someone suggested that I did one on changing the bulbs in the lights, so I might do front and back a couple of videos of those, because they're only going to be short things, won't take me long to do, so I might do those. But apart from that, there's probably not going to be any more videos until the new year now, so I'll take this opportunity once again. And I was going to say Merry Christmas, but by the time you see this, Christmas Day will be over, so I won't say Merry Christmas. I will say Happy and Prosperous New Year, and hopefully 2021 will be a much better year than 2020 for all of us. So until the next video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video, help the channel grow even more, and hopefully we'll move on to bigger and better things in 2021. I do have a car that I've got my eye on for 2021, but I've got to sell the Abarth first to be able to buy it. So watch this space. You never know, if it's still available. Once I've sold the Abarth, I shall be buying it. More details on that next year. But as I say, stay safe, look after each other, and we'll see you in the new year.